Alrighty. Okay, everybody, we have started a live stream there. As severe thunderstorm warning across the region for hail. Very small hail, pretty much non-severe, but 16-mile-per-hour winds. And this is what we have been talking about. I'm just going to send the word. Going to send the word out. Please bear with me here. Bear with me here as I get the stream set up. Just going to, once again, just getting the word out. Once I get the word out to everybody, then we will get started. Severe thunderstorm warning. I am alive. Allow paste. Once again, guys, just getting the word out. Right now, it's nothing too severe. There are some stronger end storms in Vermilion. Yep. Severe watch. Anyway, severe thunderstorm watch for the region. Okay, once again, severe thunderstorm watch. Only 16-mile-per-hour wind gusts and very small hail. Maybe some damage to trees and power lines. I have been talking about this for a little bit now. The storms are now going over the region. I will say they do look a bit less intense than than they used to would. And they did used to it. Once again. Anyway, so it does look a bit less intense. So if you look back, this was at 4:30. Look at these, you have some cells, some thunderstorm cells, but actually some really intense hail over the northern parts of Lake Erie, and that has kind of got out, dissipated, probably because of the cold waters, and that was the kind of uncertainty with the severe thunderstorm watch. So the Storm Prediction Center said when these storms are over here in this region of Canada, they said maybe we'll get a watch It depends on how strong the storms are right now over this area. We did get the watch, but the storms are kind of a little bit less intense hail-wise. It does not mean the wind threat is over. And once again, with the warning, the main threat is wind. We do have a storm near Lorraine, which does have a little bit of a hail course, so probably some small hail, potentially damaging going over there, about to come on shore. You can see most of the thunderstorm activity is still over the lake. And the National Weather Service issued the warning. It was a pre-warning. It was just to let you know ahead of time warning, kind of. The National Weather Service, if I can talk, is starting to do that kind of stuff now, where they issue warnings ahead, which is awesome. So that is why we are live. Oh, I need to pull up YouTube chat. What am I saying? What am I doing? I need to pull up YouTube chat. So that is why. IRL Fortnite event. Exactly. It's exactly an IRL Fortnite event, of course. Anyways. But once again, it does not look that intense. Like I said before, if you look on velocity, which is kind of how you determine the winds of the system, you can see if you look right here, it's almost like a line. If you really look, you can kind of see this linear type of thing. That usually means it is a wind threat. That means winds are trying to push out from the storm. And that can also sometimes create what we call an outflow boundary. It doesn't look like there's an outflow boundary right now, which would increase your wind threat. Tornado-wise, I am not seeing anything. Earlier, I think we did have a couple water spouts over Lake Erie. But as of right now, I can assure you, I'm not seeing any type of rotation. That's the same thing. Okay. But these winds are pretty easy, like 60 mile per hour wind gusts. The circle? I'll give you a circle. What's more like an oval. It's more like an oval. And we're not in it. At least not yet. But getting onto a serious note, so there is pretty much a lot of heavy rain that is about to go a little bit east of the region, at least the hyper-local region. But if we talk about the whole northeastern Ohio region, then, oops, then yeah. What else can I look at? This is pretty much it. There's no, like, intense action right now. There's only these strong storms. And, well, severe storms, I should say. It's a warning. In the Avon Lake Lorraine region. Once again, for the Cleveland Metro and the Menor Metro, it's not there yet. It is still well off to the shore. Actually, if I were to measure it, I'd say the bulk of it is still around 10 miles, 12 miles off the shore. Yeah, it kind of does. And there's once again, there's really nothing else to talk about. I will say, I will pull up something. Weather alerts, severe thunderstorm watch. Once again, there is a severe thunderstorm watch. And so these are the areas. It's western New York, northeastern Ohio, Pennsylvania, Lake Erie, Lake Ontario, And they say scattered damaging wind gusts of 70 miles per hour. I'm going to speak from the bottom of my heart. That's not happening. And maybe it's a large hail event up to 1 inch. It's possible. Also, I talked to my video earlier. There is, they do this Storm Prediction Center does mention a tornado too is possible. There is, but once again, the risk is so low. But I'm watching it. It is something to watch about. Once again, I'm scanning for rotation, and I cannot find any. All I can find on velocity is some strong winds. If I can talk correctly. I'm actually going to switch over to, this is the analysis radar, where I do deep analysis. Probably a lot of winds going on near Sheffield Lake. And once again, this is just we're just watching and waiting. What I mean not happening. So I'm talking about the 70 mile per hour wind gusts potentially. So the Storm Prediction Center, if I go back, they mentioned the possibility of 70 mile per hour wind gusts. Right there. Primary threats include, it is technically possible, sure, it is possible, but I don't know about that. I think we're going to get more of the 60, maybe the 65 mile per hour wind gusts. But the impacts from 70 to 65 miles per hour, it's not that much of a difference. Pretty much the same impacts to expect damage to trees and power lines, potentially. And it is creeping closer. Well, I'm actually going to turn off the severe. Actually, I don't need to turn off the severe thunderstorm watch. But the severe thunderstorm warning does continue for the next 37 minutes. Oh yeah, so tornado. Okay, we'll talk about the tornado risk here, or the severe weather risk overall. Let me just we'll do a quick overview. Let me just switch to a different radar, so I can get a clear view. What am I doing? So here's your risk, your categorical risk. Once again, our region, we are mostly in that 1 out of 5 marginal risk, and once again, up to the northeast, they have that 2 out of 5 slight risk for those damaging winds. Now, if we get more into it, here's your tornado risk. Once again, a 2% tornado risk for the whole region. That essentially means that an isolated tornado or two is possible within a 25 mile of any given point. So a 2% risk with if I can talk, within any 25 miles. So that's a pretty low risk. That is a pretty low risk, but it's not, you don't negate it. It's still nothing to negate about it. It's till 7 or 11. So it is till 11. The watch is till 11. It starts at 7. It's until 11. But I'll show you something. If I turn this off, and if I specifically... So you see this pink, right? This pink. This is the severe thunderstorm watch. And it goes till 11. That's because the line is essentially right here. Or more so right here. Around like 8 p.m., it's going to be somewhere in here. And you can look. There is still some areas still in that watch. So around 11 p.m., those storms are going to be somewhere in here in western New York. So that's why it's till 11. However, for our region, when the line is somewhere over here, around like 9 or 10 or 8, that watch will be canceled for us. That's how it works in the Storm Prediction Center. Anyways, back to the radar. It does look like there might be some heavier, well, like really intense rain potentially, heading into the North Perry and Madison areas. And now if we look at velocity once again, it's just heavier rain. Once again, I'm not seeing anything of a tornado, no rotation. Yeah, no, this is pretty windy. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just a windy line. That is now heading for the Cleveland area. There's also a shelf cloud with this. One of my friends, storm chaser Tyler Berry, has reported a shelf cloud, and it's a really cool cloud. If you look it up, it's associated with outflow boundaries or severe thunderstorms or a line of thunderstorms. And we can check if there's an outflow boundary. I don't exactly see one. But also sometimes it's kind of hard to tell. Now, these storms, if I were to once again measure it, the bulk of these storms are around 7 miles away from the shore into Cleveland, to Euclid, Painesville. Sorry, I think I know what you're talking about. Are you talking about StormNet? Oh, I can hear it. The outflow is here. If you're talking about StormNet is an AI thing. But I also will say, the watch. So I will. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. Okay, that is windy. Okay, the chance for 2+ tornadoes is 20% on the watch. But remember, this watch includes northeastern Ohio and New York. Across that whole area, 20% of 2+ tornadoes. That is low. And the chance for a strong tornado is 5%. So, once again, a risk for tornadoes are low. The main risk is, if you look at the top of this, the storm radar, that app. Okay, so what you're looking at, that's the tornado watch. What you're looking at is the tornado watch probabilities. That's what you're looking at. And that's also what I'm kind of presenting. So it's only at 20% across from northeastern Ohio into western New York. That is like, if you were to measure it from end to end of the watch, that's like over like almost 300 miles of that 20%. So once again, it's not nothing to negate. It's definitely a real risk, but it's only a 20% low risk. Once again, but there is on the probability scale, a moderate risk of 10+ severe wind events of 40%. And then for like hurricane force winds, 20%. It's going to say that for every single city in the watch, John. It's going to say that for every city in the watch 3-piece. So for every single city, every single state in the watch, it will say 20%. Because to be fair, every city is under a 20% chance. It is really raining in Elyria and Painesville. Velocity, once again, I'm not seeing anything rotation-wise. Hurricane force winds, hurricane force winds, which is 75 miles per hour or greater. hurricane force winds, which is greater than 65 knots. That's what I meant. Not an actual hurricane. Hurricane force winds. Once again, 75 miles per hour or greater than 65 knots. That's wrong. That's a winter radar, not a weather radar. If I look on WeatherFront, I wonder if there was any reports of damaging wind. No reports of damaging wind yet. And if we look at Cleveland, so the station in Cleveland, a weather station in Cleveland, reported winds of 28 miles per hour. And let's check near Elyria. We have gusts of 45 miles per hour. So this line is pretty gusty, so you will experience some wind gusts. Also, the front is behind this. So also this is their front, their cold front is also behind this as well. So after this, guys, it's over. No more severe weather. I mentioned 2 rounds earlier because models were showing, it was not showing this. It was showing a system going over here and then another system over here. The reason why it's only 1 round is because they both combined. The 2 clusters have combined into one huge line. That's why there's only 1 round. It's one huge line. And it's also called a MCS. It's what it's meteorologically called, a mesoscale convective system. I know that's a lot. No rotation. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I don't want to curse anything, but I don't think there's going to be a tornado. Knock on wood. I do not want to deal with that. Your sister isn't wrong, but there is a lot more that goes into a tornado. But your sister actually isn't wrong because the temperature, the air temperature is fine, but your dew point temperature is not high enough. That is correct. So the temperatures right now are near 70, and your dew points are like 48. That's like almost a 20-degree difference, and that actually is not good for tornadoes. That's not good. Because it would be pretty hard for one to form with only that much, your temperature dew point being that different. Anyway, so this is coming on shore. So your severe warning still continues for another 27 minutes for 60 mile per hour wind gusts. And it is here. You can probably hear the rain right now. And there is some thunder once again with it. Let's play this loop. Well, once again, after this, I just said once again twice. After this line, the risk is over. So that's what I'm kind of saying. Maybe by 8 p.m. they probably should, at least they should by 8 p.m. Cancel out Cuyahoga and Lake. They should, because after this it is over. I bet you do. Yeah, that this is coming on shore right now. It's currently over Cleveland and Euclid. Also Painesville, Madison. The heavier parts are definitely near Cleveland, from, at least if I were to point it out, Euclid to Elyria. Those are the heaviest parts right now. If we were to measure it, probably really heavy wind gusts. The National Weather Service says 60 mile per hour wind gusts and very small hail. It will be over soon. It's not as bad. Once again, I think I forecasted this correctly. It's not as bad. It's pretty much a marginal risk of severe weather. It pretty much verified the risk, sure, because there is a severe thunderstorm warning, but it's not as bad as past events, past days. Velocity still shows no anything of rotation. I will look at the analysis radar. And so this is interesting. So the National Weather Service, they issued another special weather statement ahead of the warning, and it's only 50 miles per hour. So it looks like the National Weather Service is kind of saying, okay, maybe this is a bit less intense than what we thought. Because ahead of this severe warning, which we are in, there is a special weather statement for like Summit County, the rest of, well, my mind is going crazy. Okay, the Medina, those counties south of us, I cannot talk. Only 50 miles per hour. So it is a bit less intense, which is a great thing. And still no rotation. If there were to be rotation, I actually will be watching these areas. If there were rotation, which there is not, I would be watching this area, which is from, what's that? Bloomville to Strongsville, essentially. This is the area I might be watching for potential rotation. Once again, there is no rotation. But if there were, it's usually the tail end of the line. We call it tail end Charlie. The tail end of the line is usually a tornado producer if the atmosphere allows it. So we're watching that closely. But still nothing of concern. And it mostly is just rain. It mostly is just rain and thunder. I'm getting a text from my WeatherFront who's saying, this is making a joke that this is the best event ever, but it's this is probably not severe. It's probably not severe. But it still is bringing thunder and heavy rain, don't get me wrong. If you are outside, I'd suggest getting inside. Because who knows, there probably might be some severe weather parts. But at the moment, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it for any region. Honestly, it probably is pretty bad in Cleveland. Like, the rain is probably pretty bad in Cleveland. Oh yeah, look at this. This is like almost 40 miles per hour gusts near the radar too. So that's near the surface. Some of the things with radar. So like right now, the radar has like, whoa, okay then, 40, almost 50 miles per hour in Chardon, but this radar is kind of scanning high. So that might be either the same or a little bit lower. Looks like they did update the warning. I don't know if we got that yet. I'm gonna wait a few seconds to see if we got that update. Okay, so we did. So we did get that update. It still expires in 19 minutes, and it's still only 60 miles per hour wind gusts. So they're still hanging on that warning. And I'm still watching this area once again from Strongsville to Bloomville for the possibility of rotation. Once again, I'm not. There's still no rotation with this. I'm actually going to get rid of that oval because I think it's probably not even going to. Yeah, no. And we are just. And this is mainly just this is mainly just rain and thunderstorms. This is just mainly rain and thunderstorms. This is really not as intense as before. If you look once again, this is around 5 p.m. and there were some really strong supercells embedded with this line over, Lake Erie. And then when we got close to the shore, it kind of just, really de-intensified as heavy rain. Actually, I think we can use there's a software thing in here, if I can find it, called Enhanced Echo Tops. And this essentially just looks at the tops of the cell. So if we go back in time, that's not back in time enough. I need a bit more back in time, please. So if we go back in time to around 4 p.m., you can see the tops of these cells. The tops of the clouds were like at 34 kft. And now they're in like low and mid 20 kft. So they decreased substantially. It is thundering pretty bad. We are gonna go back to. Oh, nope, I meant RadarOmega. Once again, it's not as bad as I was about to say it's not as bad as previously thought, but I predicted this wasn't going to be bad, and I was right. I go back in time. No, I can't do that. I can only go back in time and look at radar. That's the only time you can look in the past. I mean, this is really coming down in Cuyahoga County. I mean, they like Shaker Heights, and it's about to get, the Mayfield area, that red area. That's some pretty heavy rain. Around like 50 dBz. That's pretty heavy. And a lot of thunder. There's a lot of thunder. So, get ready for that. I'm also still watching this cell going in Ashtabula. Now, southeast of Elyria, southeast of Lorain County, and the National Weather Service has issued once again that special weather statement. They're saying this is pretty strong, but it does not look nearly as intense as what it does over here. But once again, this is the worst part. The rain is red. No, this is just the intensity of the rain. This just shows the intensity of the rain. If the rain was red, that'd be a problem. What the frick? Oh, yo, this guy's back. Yo. No idea what you said. No idea. I don't know who that guy is, but he's been on my channel for a very long time. Oh, in Mexico. I need a freaking... Oh. I think he's talking about El Nino. I think that guy's talking about... Yeah, I need... Here, can you text me the translation? I can't translate, but... I think he's talking about El Nino and La Nina in the Pacific. So for... Okay, so for the Guards game, how long will it be delayed? I think it will not, last that much longer. It won't last that much longer. Probably till... maybe 9. At max. Maybe even... Probably till either from like 7:30 to 9, maybe. More likely. Because this is not as intense. This is not as intense. So this is going over the main area. Hurricanes in May? Oh, yeah. Oh, I know what he's talking about. So the Eastern Pacific Hurricane Center starts on May 15th in the Eastern Pacific. And the temperatures there, the sea surface temperatures in the Eastern Pacific, they're pretty above average. So I think we will have an above average hurricane season in the Eastern Pacific. Actually, it does look like we actually might have some intense winds going into Summit County. Or southeastern Cuyahoga. But it does look like the bulk of this is actually in Ashtabula County. Oh, the Southern Atlantic. Anything in NS? In Nova Scotia. Well, I can show you what's going on in Nova Scotia. You're probably not going to like the answer, but it's nothing. Probably some rain. Probably just some rain. Just some rain, my friend. Puerto Rico Atlantic. Yeah, also the Atlantic starts on June 1st. The hurricane season of the Atlantic. Now, this system is pretty much about to be over. So if essentially, this is pretty much going over the majority of, we're at Shaker Heights, Mayfield, Chesterland, Hamden, Harpersfield, Ashtabula. I don't exactly know, but I do know some things he's saying. I do know some things, and I think I can understand what he's talking about. I think he's just talking about the Atlantic and the Atlantic Ocean and Eastern Pacific hurricane season. I think that's what he's talking about, and the temperature of the sea. Now, for the region, so essentially, it's pretty much just rain from now. We actually look at this. We actually might have some. We actually do have an intense thunderstorm, not intense rain, going into potentially Chagrin Falls, Solon, Bainbridge, that kind of area. I would, if I can, dude, I'm turning into freaking, what's that guy's name? I don't know. I'm stuttering. He mentioned. Oh yeah. So I know this Rahul guy. So he's been in my chat since like 2024. Hey, he's pretty awesome. I have no idea what he's saying, but he's pretty awesome. Anyways, so I'm gonna continue streaming, but the stream will end pretty soon. Not too long. Once again, for the rest of the night, I will say for the rest of the night, we will have this line of storms. They'll propagate through the southern parts of northeastern Ohio. He's saying there is a tropical band. A tropical band? You mean a tropical wave? I think he's talking about a tropical wave. Yeah, so they do get tropical waves over there, which can be the precursor to a hurricane or a tropical storm, but that's not the case. There's no hurricanes today, my friend. In Puerto Rico. So for the rest of the night, if I were to draw a line, like right here, on this side, for the rest of the day, night, there will be nothing going on but some rain. That's it. Now on the other side of this line, over here in the circles, you guys will have to watch out for this line, potentially some strong to severe thunderstorms. Mainly in wind gusts, once again, no tornadoes, still no tornado risk. No tornado risk. And that is pretty much it. Just a whole lot of rain. It's still a lot of thunderstorms going on in southern Cuyahoga County. I don't even know how to use this tool. Oh. No, I don't know how to use it. Okay. Well, on that note, I'll wait for this to get out of Cuyahoga County, which it pretty much almost is. Just some intense rain. Heavier rain, I should say. Oh, yeah, I can reach out to him. I sure can. Yeah, no rotation, guys. This is... when is the second... oh, there is no second storm. There potentially was, but they both combined. So I'll show you what I meant. I'll go into the models. I don't know why this does that. That's satellite, Charlie, not the models. So we're gonna go into this. So this is what I'm talking. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. What I was talking about before. Let me turn off weather alerts. So what I meant by 2 rounds was this. See, so this is what's happening right now. The model kind of missed. So this is what's happening right now. The model did get it sort of right. But if you look later, around like 9 p.m., it had more storms firing to the west, going to the east. That's what I meant by 2 rounds. But what actually ended up happening... Once again, I don't know why this radar software does that. What actually ended up happening was they both combined into one thing. Both of these combined it into one whole line. So, okay, the watch is from 11, but it started at 7. So it ends at 11, started at 7. I don't know why I don't know why. I really do not know why. I mean, actually. Okay, I think I know what the confusion is. I figured it out. So the radar app you have, which is Storm Radar, I think it predicted there is no hurricanes on May 15th. I'm telling you right now, maybe near the Philippines, but no, actually nowhere. There's no hurricanes on May 15th. Nowhere. But anyways, I think your Storm Radar app predicted that it will end at 7, which it was right. It's pretty much over. But the actual watch is from 11, so I think your app predicted the end of it. But there is no hurricanes on May 15th. I can assure you that. Oh, look at that new mesoscale discussion. What's this about? Locally favor corridor for damaging winds. Okay. Yes, that's correct. I don't. So the watch because we're under the same watch as Rochester, New York. We're under the same watch as them. That's why it ends at 11 p.m. because we're under the same watch as them. But the risk for like Cuyahoga is essentially over, almost, except for the far southeastern part. But anyways, I am going to, yeah, there's no rotation at all, guys. Nothing. Well, hold on. There is a pretty wide area of 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts from Solon to Newberry. Part of some outflow. So there is no tornado risk with this. It's literally just going to be wind, guys. So I think I will end the stream. So if I go back on radar. So I will say thank you guys for joining the stream. I see hooks. There are no hooks. There's 0 hooks. Yeah, no, there's not any hooks. It may. The tornadoes already passed. For us, yes. Like for me and you, yes, it's over. It's done. It's just rain. It's over. It's over. It's out of Cuyahoga County. Essentially, it is out of Cuyahoga County. There may be some weird-looking radar signatures that may look like hooks, but if you look on velocity, which is on your right side of the screen, there is no rotation. So whenever you see a hook but no rotation, Rochester needs to keep an eye out for. Yeah, maybe it does look like it is intensifying a little bit. This line over here, we'll have to. Well, I'm not even gonna worry about it. I'm going to. I don't know what I'm doing after this. But at least for us, the risk is over. So I'm actually going to end the live. Okay, I know I said this like a million times. I will be ending the live stream. So once again, thank you guys, or one person, you. Well, two people. Well, thank you too. For watching, appreciate y'all. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The risk is over for Cuyahoga County. It is past. But the risk does continue south of us. If we look at once again the day 1 outlook, the risk does continue for pretty much almost to Columbus. Not to Columbus, but almost to Columbus. And almost to Pittsburgh. The Canton, Youngstown area, the risk does continue. But as for everything else for us, It is over. It is just rain. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Thank you guys so much. I'll see y'all later. Like, subscribe. You don't have to.